Good morning, it's Alex with your Main Street briefing for Tuesday, July 14th. Today, what tariffs are really costing small importers, why 84% of owners still can't find workers, and the wage and overtime rules quietly reshaping your payroll. 3 stories, 5 minutes, done. First, tariffs. A new Federal Reserve Bank of New York study puts a number on the pain. Nearly 240,000 small businesses that rely on imports paid an average of $90,000 more in tariffs over a recent 3-month stretch. For a business already running on thin margins, and by late last year, fewer than half of small firms surveyed by the Fed were even profitable, $90,000 is the difference between a good year and layoffs. Most small importers responded the only way they could. They passed the cost on to customers through higher prices. Others ate it and watched their margins shrink. The study also found that firms facing tariff-related challenges were less likely to expect higher revenue or to add employees this year. The operational takeaway is that tariff exposure now shows up in 2 places: your cost of goods and your hiring plans. What to watch? Pull your top 10 imported products and check each one's country of origin and current tariff rate this week, because knowing your exact exposure is the only way to decide what to reprice, what to resource, and what to drop. Second, hiring. Even with a cooler economy, owners still can't fill jobs. In the latest NFIB data, 84% of small business owners who were trying to hire said they found few or no qualified applicants. That's not a demand problem, it's a skills and supply problem, and it's been remarkably stubborn. Part of it is that uncertain conditions, from tariffs to fuel costs, are making owners pickier about who they bring on. But the deeper issue is the qualified applicant gap. The people applying often don't have the skills the open roles need. If you're competing for the same few qualified workers as everyone on your street, wages alone won't win, so you're better off widening the funnel. That means considering candidates you train up, loosening rigid experience requirements, and selling schedule flexibility and culture, which cost less than an endless bidding war on pay. What to watch? Rewrite your most open job posting this week to list only the skills truly required on day 1, and add 1 concrete perk, flexible hours, a signing bonus, or paid training that a bigger competitor won't bother to offer. Third, payroll rules. More than 20 states raised their minimum wage for 2026, and a batch of increases took effect July 1st on top of the January round. The federal floor is still $7.25, unchanged since 2009, but that number is irrelevant in most states now. Washington is at 17.13, D.C. at 17.95, California at 16.90. And here's the trap for remote and hybrid teams. The minimum wage that applies is generally the one where the employee actually works, not where your business is headquartered. So a remote worker in a higher wage state can raise your floor without you noticing. Several states also updated the salary thresholds that determine overtime eligibility and refresh the workplace notices you're required to post, including electronic posting rules for remote staff. What to watch? This week, map every employee to the state and city where they physically work, then confirm each one is at or above that local minimum and that your overtime-exempt salaries still clear the new threshold, because misclassification is where the penalties hit. That's your Main Street briefing for Tuesday. I'm Alex. 3 more tomorrow. Go run your day.